happy to see you. I forgot to put my earphones in. And I kind of need them because it reminds me to whisper. Otherwise, I can tend to go up. And I promised somebody a whispered reading video. And we have our beautiful, beautiful pink furry mic cover from Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie. And again, thank you, Mara, for my beautiful yarn holder, which I'm going to show you guys. I have a great video for this coming up. So I see we have some new people. Hi, new people. Hi. Let's have this for you guys. I'm so glad that you guys are here and that you're giving my channel a chance. Please feel free to like it, to share it. Comments are amazing. I love, love, love the comments. I love interacting with all of you. I love knowing what you think. It's awesome, okay? Please keep them coming and definitely hit that subscribe button. I'd appreciate that. And my returning people, hi you guys. Hi. Let's do one for you guys. There you go. Thank you guys for coming back and for the comments. They make my day. Thank you guys so, so much. I really, really appreciate it. Please keep the comments coming and just make sure you're still subscribed. YouTube's doing things right now. So we're going to do a reading to you video tonight. And we're going to read another one from Making Me Time. And it's a chicken soup for the soul book. 101 stories about self-care and balance. Amy Newmark. Self-care and balance is really important, you guys. I used to think self-care was equivalent to selfish. It's completely the opposite. It's taking care of yourself so you can take care of others. Okay. So, for the new people, we do our readings we have a routine, and I'm going to invite you into them, okay? So the first thing you need to do is to get your lighting the way that you like it. Sort of. Whether you like it light or dark, a little bit of light, lots of light. If you want a night light, you can use battery operated or electric candles or lights. Absolutely no lit candles, you guys. Not if you're resting or may fall asleep. It's dangerous, and y'all mean too much to me, okay? You matter to me. So, and you can even wear a sleep mask, because the books I choose don't have illustrations usually. So I'm just going to be looking down reading. You don't even have to look at the screen if you don't want to. Okay? Good. Now, the next thing we're going to do is our relaxation breathing. Oh, no, it's not. You're going to find a comfortable spot. And that can be anywhere. A bed, a couch, a chaise, a hammock, lawn chairs, cushions on the floor, chairs, whatever, okay? If your dog's comfortable with you leaning on them, go for that. Because they might find it relaxing too. We're going to then do our breathing. Now, we've been doing this for a long time. We do it whenever we want to rest, relax, calm ourselves, when we feel like chaos around us and we need to center and focus, and when we just need that minute just for us, when everybody is grabbing a piece of you and you need to say, I'm doing this just for me. Find a private place. It takes less than a minute, okay? But you are going to do it just for you, okay? So we're going to breathe in, and we do this so that our brain sends the message to the rest of our body that it's time to slow down and relax. Did I stop whispering? I'm sorry. So we're going to breathe in through our nose for a count of 4. We're going to gently hold it for a count of 4. And then you're going to release through pursed lips for a slow count of 4. If you can only do 1 or 2, that's okay. I know that you're doing the very best that you can, and that's all that matters, okay? Everybody goes at their own pace, okay? So let's do 3 together. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gently hold it. good. You guys are doing great. And I see you. I know how much improvement you've made. Okay, let's do it again. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Gently hold it. 1, 2. Good. Release. You're new, right? You did very well. Okay, the last one. Breathe in. Gently hold it. And release. Great job, you guys. I'm proud of you. So, the other thing that the new people need to know, I have very strong faith. You can have your own. I have mine. And I firmly believe that when I open this book, I will find a story that one of you or more needs to hear. That's why I never pre-pick or pre-select the stories, okay? And I'm hoping we have time for 2 tonight. So let's get to it, shall we? Get yourself comfortable, okay? And let's open it near the front, I think, tonight. Okay, stop juggling and put something down. And this one starts with a quote. They always start with a quotation. And this one is from Gabrielle Union. If you prioritize yourself, you are going to save yourself. Okay. When I left corporate life and I started my own business, I thought I had it all figured out. When I made the decision to change my lifestyle and get fit, I thought I was on the right track. And when I purchased a second business, I knew I was doing the right thing. Slowing down never occurred to me. I was all about making things happen. Over the course of 3 years, I programmed my brain to be in a state of perpetual motion. Even when I wasn't working, I was thinking about work. There was never enough time to get things done, and I always feared I'd let someone down, especially if I stopped long enough to relax. But the busier I got, the less I seemed to accomplish. When the fatigue and the brain fog set in, I told myself I just needed to work harder and get better organized. But something was wrong. I was emotionally and physically exhausted. My Apple Watch buzzed repeatedly in the night, warning me that my heart rate was over 100. My body ached, my head pounded, and no matter how much I exercised, I was losing strength. When I visited the doctor, the first thing she said to me was, "How's your stress level?" I shrugged, same as usual, nothing new or out of the ordinary. But something was happening to my body. A multitude of tests and blood work revealed that I had Graves' disease. It's an autoimmune disorder that causes hyperthyroidism, with symptoms that include accelerated heartbeat, high blood pressure, physical anxiety, fatigue, and muscle weakness. As Dr. Joyce sat next to me to discuss the treatment, I said, "This doesn't seem fair. I've worked so hard on my health. I quit drinking. I changed my diet and lifestyle. I lost weight. Things are supposed to be better, not worse." I can relate to this. I smiled sympathetically. She smiled sympathetically. "We'll get it figured out. Do some reading up on Graves' disease and try to take care of yourself." She wrote a prescription for heart and thyroid medication and then referred me to a specialist. I scoured the internet for information, articles, and personal stories. I learned that autoimmune diseases causes the body to attack its own healthy cells. Disorders can be hereditary and are more common among women. In many cases, they are triggered and aggravated by stress. How is your stress level? I asked myself that question. The following day, the question resurfaced while I bumped into an old friend. We hadn't seen each other for a while, but we were connected on Facebook. After exchanging pleasantries, Cindy said, "I just love following all the things you're doing. You've taken on a lot. You've got quite the juggling act. I don't know how you do it all, but you do make it look good." I smiled. I have to admit, some of the projects I'm juggling are starting to get a little heavy. So stop juggling and put something down. It's okay to tell people no. As we parted ways, she added, "It was good to see you. You look like you've lost weight. Take care of yourself." She waved and disappeared around the corner. For the next week, I thought about our short conversation. I reread online articles indicating stress management played a huge part in controlling Graves' disease. As I made a list of everything I was juggling, I was running 2 businesses, each requiring a multitude of different tasks. My calendar was filled with online marketing, photo shoots, website designs, copywriting, planning a huge regional event. On a good day, I'd squeeze in 30 minutes of writing the book I was working on. I barely had time to blink, let alone relax. But somehow I was managing to do it all. My commitment to do more, to be more, to serve more was too much. I examined the list. It was clear I didn't want to do it all. Something had to give. Prioritizing was hard. I examined the juggling act and I tried to decide what to let go of. I bid farewell to clients, explaining I was cutting back and lightening my workload. When asked to speak at events or take on new projects, I said no. And I found someone to help me plan that big event. My calendar got a huge makeover, and I reminded myself it was perfectly acceptable to have some white space on that calendar. Until then, I didn't realize how much I'd missed the simple joys. Little things that help me relax and recharge. Like bike rides, like hikes, like taking my dog to the park, visiting a favorite bookstore, and sitting on the back porch just to watch the sun rise or set. These things belonged on my calendar. So I started using an orange highlighter to block out time for myself. These orange blocks are mine. They represent time to unplug, to let my imagination wander, and to focus on what's important. Along with scheduled downtime, creative work found its way into my day. I blocked snippets of time for my writing and photography projects. Once I prioritized, it didn't take long for everything else to fall into place. I didn't know how, but I was becoming more productive by doing less. My calendar is still full and my workload is heavy, but I'm not juggling and I'm not buckling under the weight of it anymore. I know my limits and I know when it's time to stop juggling. I've learned to be kinder to myself. I start each day with meditation and I end with gratitude. And somewhere in the middle, I try a quiet block of time that's reserved just for me. These little things play a big part in my well-being. Perhaps the disease wasn't triggered by stress. Then again, maybe it was. Either way, the diagnosis has helped me to reclaim my life. Dr. Joy was right. We're getting it figured out. Gradually, I'm becoming a healthier, happier, more relaxed version of myself. And that's by Anne Morrow. And guys, this is so true. I did this to myself too when baby Angel was young. I worked full time. My husband traveled a lot. I took care of the baby. I made sure my house had to be spotless at all times. Like the queen could walk in that door any day and it was fine. Everything had to be homemade, and you know what? And when I went back to work after baby Angel was 13 months old, I was so stressed out. And I was exactly with this lady. I was buckling under it all. And one of the doctors that I worked with, she saw me one day, my hand was shaking, and she asked me what was wrong. And I guess the floodgates opened. And I told her, and she said, "Get a housekeeper." I'm like, okay, my people don't have housekeepers. my people are housekeepers. We don't do that. But she goes, didn't you just get a big raise? Not a big raise, but a raise. And I'm like, I did, actually. So I went home and I said to my husband, and she said, don't ask. Discuss it. But this is the decision you've made. And I went home and I said, listen, I've decided things have to give. And he's like, okay, what can we do? My husband's really supportive, incredibly so. And I said, we need to get a housekeeper. I said, how about once every 2 weeks? And I had done the research and I showed him the figures and everything. And he's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, that's it. And we got someone lovely and kind and wonderful. And for 2 years it went on like that. And, you know, she'd come every 2 weeks for 4 hours. And, you know, that was great. And it gave me such a relief because I could just, you know, keep everything tidy. I still made sure I cleaned all the toilets before she came, though, because that's just who I am. So yeah, sometimes you need to find a juggle, and that was great because I could afford that. But there were other things too. You know, it's okay to buy baby food. I didn't. Well, by then she was eating regular food, but did I really have to make everything by hand? I won't know, but I think it would have been fine. Okay, I think we have time for one more. What do you guys think? I do see we have some sleeping beauties, so let's try one more and get the rest of you off to slumber. Okay, let's open it near the end this time. Okay, no, I opened it onto the contents, the index. Okay, no, I don't want the index. Okay, the sneeze. And this one is, the quotation is by Naval Ravikant. 3 things in life: your health, your mission, and the people you love. That's it. I don't remember the day of the week it was when I sneezed and my life changed. I don't remember what I was talking about or what floor we were going to take on the elevator. I do remember that my students were close behind, notebooks in hand, scribbling words they couldn't define, while I talked right over their heads as we waited for the doors to open. I also remember the pain agonizing through my shoulders and neck. I was a wife and a mother of 2 small kids, juggling my full-time job in healthcare and a second job teaching. My schedule was grueling, but it's okay. I'm a workaholic. All my life I had been type A. I was always looking to achieve more, earn more, and I put everything and everyone in my life ahead of my own needs. And I was not enjoying my life. I felt disconnected from my husband, bitter towards my employers, and guilty about being too tired to play with my kids. I had this running mantra: one day I will get out of this rat race. Friends warned me I was overdoing it. They would invite me out for a bite to eat, but I never had the time. Often, after turning down an invitation, I'd feel an anger towards them. They had time for friends and self-care. They became frustrated with me, and eventually the invitation stopped. Well, that sneeze put an end to it all. I had been dealing with this pain in my shoulder blades for so long, it just seemed to be a daily, normal part of my life. It was initially diagnosed as a pulled muscle. So I took muscle relaxers and I eased up on the exercise. It seemed to throb less, though it never went away. I tucked it away in the back of my mind, telling myself, it's nothing serious. Work was more important. I'll take care of my shoulders later. Nearly a year passed. I noticed that the pain had progressed to some numbness and tingling in my hands. So I went to see my doctor. The visit, he said, it's probably a pinched nerve, and I was prescribed physical therapy. An hour a day, 3 days a week for 4 weeks? Absolutely not. Who has time? I didn't go. I used ice packs, hot packs, medicated patches, numbing sprays. I took handfuls of over-the-counter anti-inflammatories. I rubbed my neck and shoulders until my skin was red and raw. I just had to keep going. And then it happened. I get on the elevator and I sneezed. And I knew something terrible had happened. I felt like I had been electrocuted. A lightning bolt ripped through my torso. I lost my balance and fell. An MRI showed that my spinal cord had been severely compressed by some vertebral discs and abnormal bone growth in my neck. The sneeze had forced the discs into my spinal column. Within hours, I had lost feeling in my legs and I couldn't walk. I had to have emergency surgery to decompress my spinal cord, and it was followed by months of rehab to learn to walk again. Now, my recovery was the most difficult thing I had ever been through. I didn't know how to rest. I didn't know how to slow down. I also knew I didn't have a choice. Taking care of myself was about to become my only responsibility. I rediscovered my love of reading in those first few weeks. I was feeling sorry for myself, so I tried to read books that lifted my spirits, like The Art of Living by Thich Nhat Hanh and Daring Greatly by Brent Brown. Reading filled my soul in a way I hadn't experienced since high school. I discovered meditation and visualization. They became daily practices. I would lie in bed upon waking and visualize myself running again without any balance issues or walking aids. I meditated only for 5 minutes at first, but found eventually that 30 minutes of meditation before going to rehab actually made me feel stronger and more positive that I would make progress. As my legs got stronger, I found joy in taking long hot showers. I would massage lavender lotions into my skin before bed. The scent brought me back to those early days after my babies were born, when I would use lavender to help them sleep. It felt delicious to take care of my body. I would never have guessed that something so simple could have such a calming effect on my mind. I slept peacefully, often dreamlessly, and I would awaken in a positive mood with a clear head. All this deepened my connection to my husband, children, and some very dear friends. I sat with my kids nightly to help with their homework or to read together. They told me stories about their day at school, and I reveled in getting to be engaged and present in the moments with them. My husband, who had previously been a stay-at-home dad, divulged that he often felt uncomfortable that I was the breadwinner. He was happy to go back to work. Happier, which renewed some of the passion in our marriage. Connection to my family became the cream of my self-care crop. I felt amazingly complete and content when I was surrounded by them. My life is so different. I do no longer live in the rat race. I won't engage in my activities, anything that makes me feel stressed. The well-being of my mind and body and soul is finally my priority, and every other aspect of my world has benefited from it. I've learned that self-care is not a luxury, it's a necessity. And that's by Angelonmyshoulderasmr. Okay, guys, some of you needed to hear that. They're too similar otherwise, and they're from very different parts of the book. Now I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to sleep restfully, and I want you to